بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. We continue our discussion about Ziyarah. So we ended with the ayah in chapter 33, verse 53. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوت النبي إلا أن يؤذن لكم. O those who believe, do not enter houses of the Prophet unless permission is granted. On one level, this refers to a practice that some Muslims had when they wanted to see the Prophet. They, used to go to the house of the Prophet and just enter. Because the Prophet didn't, use any guard, any security, anyone to stop people. And of course, this was difficult for the Prophet, that people keep going. But he was not, stopping people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed Muslims not to do so. But on another level, this is not about the physical house of the Prophet. This is about the spiritual house of the Prophet. With the physical house, it's a manner, it's a merit to observe seeking permission. But even if someone doesn't observe this, still can enter. But with the spiritual house of the Prophet, if you don't observe this, you cannot enter. No one can by force enter into someone's spiritual house. Okay? Like your heart. No one can by force go to your heart. So we seek permission. I have written in this way. In the case of a physical house, unauthorized entry is still possible. A thief or an enemy could infiltrate without permission. However, when it comes to a spiritual abode, entry without consent is impossible. This is because we seek to enter a sacred space inhabited by those who are in constant remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To truly benefit from such a divine environment, permission is essential. And this is not a formality, because in the spiritual world there is no formality without deep meaning. If there is anything there, even if we have certain etiquette, manners, all are reality. Seeking permission enables you to tune yourself into that environment. Yeah. So, like for example, if you want to listen to a radio station, you have to tune your radio set into certain frequency. Otherwise, you cannot listen. If you want to, for example, learn from some scholar, you need to know the language, but also you need to know the concepts and presuppositions, etc., whatever he is using, so that you can understand. You cannot force yourself into understanding. So here we need to know that this is the place for remembrance of Allah. There are people who continuously remember Allah, and if you want to enter, you should be meaning to remember Allah with them. So you cannot go there for anything worldly or to bypass them, because this is their house. I cannot say I want to remember Allah only, and I don't bother about these people who are living here. Yeah? Because this is their house. People can go to the shrines and do different things. However, if they know what the purpose and function of this place is, and they attune themselves to that and get permission, then they get connection. They can go from physical encounter into more underlying, deeper spiritual, intellectual connection. As a result, the light reaches them. This is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because normally, when you meet someone, you cannot benefit from their qualities. Yeah? For example, if I meet a generous person, unless I do something, I don't get the generosity from that person. Or if a person, for example, expert in a science, by meeting them, nothing is transmitted to me. Okay? But Ziyarah is a system, is a tool or facility that Allah has provided us with, that by visiting someone who has light with proper mindset, you can get light from them without them losing their light. Okay? This is a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I said, this is a gift from Allah, because generally speaking, no one can benefit from other people's qualities unless they walk a similar path in life. There are no shortcuts to such personal development. Merely observing someone's generosity doesn't make us generous. Likewise, witnessing someone's multilingual abilities or a skill set, no matter how often we visit their home or engage with them, will not automatically, spontaneously transfer those skills to us. Even maybe your father, your mother, they have skills. You have lived with them for all your life, but they don't come to you. Ziyarah is a divine blessing. When we set our intentions on connecting with these luminous figures for the sake of Allah, He graciously removes the barriers between our hearts and theirs. This connection is very important, allowing their spiritual light to illuminate us. Okay? So we are being charged, and as I said in Najaf, there is no reason why this energy should finish. It's not like a mobile or laptop you charge and then after some time, even if you don't use them, it's finished. But this energy can remain forever with us. If we don't commit sins, if we don't, lose our iman, they remain. And every time you can make it better, build upon it. If this energy is preserved, it can stay with us for a lifetime. The next time we partake in Ziyarah, we have the opportunity to recharge our batteries, so to speak. Okay? So, permission to enter means that I am preparing myself. I am asking myself why I am here. What do I want to do here? Who are these people who are here? In the Ziyarah of Imam Raza alayhi salam, when we seek permission, we say, Ashhadu billah annaka tashhadu maqami wa tasma'u kalami wa taruddu salami wa anta hayyun 'inda rabbik. So I explain my understanding, why I am here. I bear witness that you are witnessing my standing here. So we are not going to a graveyard. We are not visiting the grave. This is Bait. This is house. Okay? We are visiting the house of Imam Raza alayhi salam, the house of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, not going to the grave of Imam Hussein. Or, okay? Yes, it is true that the grave might be there, but this is where they are living. Yeah? House is where someone is living. And in Arabic, house is called Bait because Bait, in my understanding, Bait is where you spend your night. Beituta, bata yabito means to spend your night. So where you are staying in night is your house, not where you are at during the day. Because during the day you might be outside. Yeah? But everyone normally for the rest, if they want to relax during the night, they are in their own houses. So Bait is a place where you rest, where you eat, whatever, it's your home, Bait. Bata yabito. So, and this is also very important from a spiritual perspective, because not only physically, night is the place for rest, it's a time for rest, but spiritually also night is more important than day. So where you and how you spend your night determines your spirituality. Okay? So those that you share in the night the same place with them are the closest people to you, also from a spiritual perspective. Okay? So we say to Imam Raza, I bear witness that you are aware that I am here. Tashhadu maqami. Okay? So no matter how many people are there, Imam is aware of every person who is there. وَتَسْمَعُ كَلَامِ. And you hear and understand what I am saying. People can speak in different languages, but Imam is aware. وَتَرُدُّ السَّلَامِ. And if we give salam, they reply. Okay? Because it is wajib to give reply to someone's greeting. إذا حييتم بتحية فحيوا بأحسن منها أو ردوها. You should either give better reply. For example, says Assalamu alaikum, you say Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, or at least the same thing. So when we say salam, definitely they reply. وَأَنْتَ حَيٌّ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ. You are alive, close to your Lord. Actually, all people who die are alive, but not everyone is close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? For the martyrs we say, بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Martyrs and true mu'mineen, they are alive, close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, we are entering a house where Imam or the personality that we visit is alive, okay? They understand us, and actually they are in a more kind of free and more powerful presence than when they were physically alive. Okay? For example, when Imam Raza was alive, how many people could visit him at each time? Only a limited number of people. And they couldn't visit him 24 hours. Yeah? But now, people can visit him 24 hours, millions of people, no limitation. Because now he doesn't need to observe the rules of the physics. He is operating on a different level. So millions of people, 24 hours, 7 days a week, can go and visit him, and he communicates to them. So for people who are pure, who are pious, death just removes the limitations. Okay? This is a freedom and a kind of access to a higher realm that then they can function better. Even non-ma'sumin, those who are pious, they can help us maybe more after they die. And at the beginning of the lectures, I said that how Fakhr Razi says students of Aristotle, for example, did their mubahasa when they had difficult issues next to his grave. And then Fakhr Razi said this happens many times. So it's very much possible that those who were students of, for example, a great personality like Ayatollah Qazi, maybe even after he dies, they can benefit. Okay? But they will benefit in the way that that person is given ability and decides. You cannot force them. Okay? There was an alim in Shiraz, Ayatollah Sayyid Mahdi Dasghaib, brother of Ayatollah Dasghaib, who was killed, assassinated beginning of revolution. His brother, his younger brother. So they both were students of Ayatollah Ansari Hamadani, Rizwanullah Ta'ala alayh. Also, he benefited from Ayatollah Najabat. Ayatollah Najabat and Ayatollah Dasghaib were, very close to each other. So his younger brother also benefited from. So when Ayatollah Dasghaib took his younger brother to Najaf to study, he asked Ayatollah Najabat to take care of him. Anyway, there was a program in one of the universities in Tehran to commemorate Ayatollah Ansari Ahmadani, and the recording is available. So Ayatollah Dasghaib says that sometimes people ask me, what do you do after Ayatollah Ansari Hamadani? And he says many of these things while he's crying, and he says, how much he is missing that time. But he says, I tell them, still Aghay Ansari is there. And he says, whenever I have a problem, I go from Shiraz towards Qom to visit Ayatollah Ansari's grave. And he says, as soon as I leave Shiraz to go and visit him, my condition changes. And then he says, a few days ago, or something like that, he says, I was going to visit Ayatollah Ansari Hamadani's grave, and one of my relatives who didn't know anything about it had a dream of Ayatollah Najabat, who said that I am going to take him to Ayatollah Ansari Hamadani. And she didn't know that his plan. So he says we still benefit from our teacher, and this is about a pious, scholar, but for imams is of course much different, much better. So they are alive and they are aware of our presence, of our hajat. When it comes to ziyarah, the main thing is the connection between two spirits, the visitor and the visited. There should be a connection between their spirits. This works better if they can be physically close to each other. Okay? We can speak over the phone to our father or mother and have a great connection. But it's not like having a face-to-face encounter. So ziyarah or visit of two people works better if they are physically close to each other and spiritually also connected. Okay? The closer we go, the stronger the experience becomes. Therefore, we are strongly encouraged to visit these places in person. Okay? So, we should not say, why I should come all the way to Karbala, for example. Why I cannot connect from where I live to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Yes, it's possible. And you can connect from every place in the world, because the spirit has no limit. Yeah? Those who are alive, their spirit is limited to function through the body. Okay? But those who have passed away, they have no limitation. But the closer to where that house is there is making big difference. So when you have maximum closeness, physically and spiritually, it's better. While it is tempting to adopt a philosophical stance and argue that we can visit from anywhere in the world, the experience is simply not the same. Whenever possible, we should make the effort to be there physically as well. However, if circumstances prevent us from going, or if we cannot be there throughout the year, it doesn't mean that we are entirely deprived of the benefits of ziyarah. We can still establish a connection from wherever we are. When I said philosophically maybe we be tempted not to go, reminds me of a story that when the late Imam Khomeini was in Najaf, he was committed to go every day for ziyarah, and he was very regular in timing, etc. So one day weather was not good. So the late Ayatollah Sayyid Mustafa Khomeini, the son of Imam, who was himself a great mujtahid and also philosopher, etc., he told him, today it's better if you don't go to the shrine and do ziyarah from distance, because it doesn't make difference. Even from here you can connect. And they say Imam Khomeini said, don't take away from me the manners of awam, means lay people. He says, I want to be like lay people. Lay people, before they actually hold on to the zari, they don't feel they have done ziyarah. They want to be very close, as close as possible. Imam Khomeini said, let me keep that also attitude. I don't want to become too philosophical here. Of course, many of the things that lay people do, lay mu'minin of course, you can understand it in a deeper level, if your knowledge is more. Maybe they don't understand exactly why they are doing this, but sometimes we can interpret them in a different way which makes sense. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Man sallama alayya fi shay'in min al-ard ublaghtuhu. Whoever sends me salam from any place in the world, I will receive. وَمَنْ سَلَّمَ عَلَيَّ عِنْدَ الْقَبْرِ سَمِعْتُهُ. But whoever gives salam to me next to my grave, I will hear. So those who are sending salam from close, he hears directly. Those who send salam from far distances, he will receive them. Okay, means Allah will, maybe through angels or whatever, brings this to him. Rasulullah said also, "Man zarani hayyan wa mayyitan kuntu lahu shafi'an yawm al-qiyamah." Whoever visits me, alive and dead, means when I'm alive or when I have passed away, I will do shafa'ah for him. So ziyarah is during the life and after the departure. In another hadith, Rasulullah said to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, "Ya bunayya." You know, Imam Hussein had asked Rasulullah about the merit of visiting Rasulullah. Rasulullah said, "Ya bunayya, man zarani hayyan aw mayyitan, aw zara abak, aw zara akhak, aw zaraka, kana haqqan alayya an azurahu yawm al-qiyamah, hatta ukhallisahu min dhunubih." My son, whoever visits me, whether alive or dead, or visits your father, or visits your brother, or visits you, it becomes my duty to visit him on the day of judgment, so that I may absolve him of his sins. Because if Rasulullah visit you, he cannot visit you in hell, or when you are punished. When Rasulullah visits you, it means that you must be surrounded with rahmah. Okay? If the Prophet visits us, then we cannot be in a bad condition. Also, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, "Man zarana fi mamatina faka'annama zarana fi hayatina." Whoever visits us during our death, it is as if he visited us during our lifetime. This is page 90. So, every time now you go to the shrine, your understanding must be that you have been given appointment to go to the house of Imam and see him. Okay? You have been given appointment, so it's not that you go, maybe he's there, maybe he's not there, maybe he lets you in, maybe he doesn't let you in. No, you have been given appointment, invitation, and he is expecting you. We shouldn't say, because he has passed away, so I am just, going to his grave. No, it's a real ziyarah visit. Individuals with a short-sighted perspective may believe that this diminishes or even halts life altogether. However, death neither reduces nor ceases our life. It's just a transition into a different realm where our understanding is likely to expand. And for some people, even their power and communication grow. I'm saying for some people, because for bad people, maybe they understand more, but they cannot do good things. They have limited, bad people. This is particularly true for holy figures that upon passing away, they are believed to gain even greater abilities. In fact, their power may be magnified due to the absence of the physical and worldly limitations they once had. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, we finished this part. Inshallah, in the next chapter, we will talk about visiting Imam Hussein alayhi salam. If you have questions, I can stop, answer questions. Otherwise, I can carry on for another 10-15 minutes. You have question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ziyarah, you go, you stay there. Imam knows we are there.
Yes.
So we don't have to touch the Ziyarah.
Yeah, but as I said, physical presence, physical touch is also important. Okay? You shouldn't say, I just stand outside or, in a corner. As much as possible, go closer. But you don't need to push people, hurt anyone, because this is then counterproductive. By this, you don't get closer to Imam. But if there is no barrier, there's no problem, why you don't go closer? Yeah? When you really love, for example, your children or mother or father, yeah, you hug them, yeah? You want to go as close as possible. You don't say, you stay in that room, I stay in this room, and, we are in the same house. So, love doesn't allow distance. Yeah? You want to go closer. But it doesn't make sense to do anything which is not moral, not beautiful, okay? With respect, with calmness, without hurting anyone. If possible, go as close as possible. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay.
We have one more question.
So, pardon?
I just wanted to ask about having items physically touched on the video. What's the benefit in that?
Physical touch?
With the items, people will take I saw someone take 4 rings and go and touch it against the video, or take they just take things to touch it. So what's the value?
Maybe they want to bless those items.
Okay, so there is something to it. It's not just
Yeah, it's a blessing. Yeah, like your tasbih or ring, you can bless, and it reminds you of also this place.
But reminding is more like a souvenir, but does the reality of that object change?
Yeah, it can change if they accept to bless. Yeah. It says, does this change the reality of that object? I say, if Imam accepts to bless, yes. For example, imagine if Imam was alive and say, please take my tasbih, make a dua and give it back to me. Certainly it has impact. But the thing is that he has to accept. Yeah, we cannot force him, but we can request. And inshallah, he is kind and he would accept. Yeah.
At the same time, we see, for example, that from the Prophet ﷺ, where if you greet him in person, then he will be able to hear it. So if he's able to be in more than one place at a time, and if we're able to connect to the infallible for many years on the earth, then it seems that there's probably not being limited. But so what is the significance more in the sense that we ourselves are affected so much that we're able to connect better when we are closer, or is it that they have limited, there's some kind of limitation for them the farther they get from the shrine, or I'm trying to reconcile these two myself.
This is the power of connection. So connection is more powerful when both physically and spiritually you are connected. So, one of the things that we say in Ziyarah, for example, we say, may Allah's salutation be upon your body and soul. Okay? Ala jasadika wa ruhik, مثلا. So, their body is here and is blessed. The soul is everywhere, but the soul has a special connection with the body. So wherever there is body, that is the central connection of the soul with this world. So we come to the place that they have very close connection to this world, so that our body and soul can get maximum. But it doesn't mean that if we go away, it totally stops. But here we have the best chance. But depends on people. Maybe a pious person from 1,000 miles away can be more connected to Imam than someone who is next to the Zari. Because distance is one factor. But the same pious person who is 1,000 miles away, if he comes here, gets more. Okay? So every person, according to his own condition or her own condition, always benefits from being close. But it's not the only factor. your level of ma'rifah, taqwa, all are also very important. And also, inshallah, pardon?
We should visit like more often.
More often. Of course, considering other duties and responsibilities that we also have, but yes. Also, there is a point that inshallah we mention later, that there are places that Allah loves to be called from those places. So there's a beautiful hadith that I think was Imam Hadi alayhi salam, who was ill and asked someone to tell one of the Shia to go to Karbala and pray for him. And the person says, I will do it, but Imam himself is like the one who is in Karbala. Why, I should go all the way to Karbala to pray for him? He's himself like, Imam Hussein. And then he conveyed the question, and Imam said, there are places in the world that Allah loves to be called from there. And he mentioned example of Rasulullah. So Rasulullah, although he was very close to Allah, but he was making dua from next to Kaaba, because that Allah loves to be called from Kaaba. Allah loves to be called from Karbala for different reasons. One reason is to encourage people to appreciate these places and come here, and then they can also build unity. Imagine if all these Shia who come here for Ziyarah, for Arba'in, etc., if they were only remaining in their own home and doing Ziyarah from distance, or in Hajj, everyone said, I just face Qibla, that's enough. No, we are encouraged to go in person, and when we go closer, our hearts also get closer. We have unity. This power of faith, also presentation of faith. So there are many, many different factors. So it's not just spiritual. It's spiritual, it's social, it's political, even economical. There are lots of sides to this.
I personally, I visited Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I personally feel more connected here than anywhere else.
In Karbala.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
I feel it's like my own. I feel that it's like somebody's listening to me when I'm talking. I feel
Yeah.
this kind of very strong link.
Yeah. Sometimes the power is different. Sometimes also we are different. So sometimes some people maybe feel more powerful connection in Najaf. Someone maybe in Mashhad. Our personal experiences are also important. Like some people read, for example, one dua and say this is the most interesting dua. Another person maybe has another. So our personal things are also important. But for sure, Imam Hussein alayhi salam is blessed with a kind of light that is maybe more inclusive, so that it's not difficult to connect to him. Even sinful people, even people who are not Muslim, every person can easily get connected to Imam Hussein. His light is made by Allah in the way that is not very complicated or difficult. So this is a speciality of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, because of the universal role that he has to play for Akhirul Zaman, inshallah. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam has a special prayer for visitors of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and it shows how much Ahlul Bayt love the visitors of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. There is a person called Muawiyah ibn Wahab. He says, after receiving permission to enter the Imam Sadiq's residence and pay him a visit, I found him engrossed in prayer in his musalla, in his designated area of prayer. I waited for him to complete his prayer. And then I heard Imam Sadiq, after finish his prayer, made this dua. Allahumma ya man khassana bil karamah wa wa'adana bil shafa'ah وخصنا بالوصية وأعطانا علم ما مضى وعلم ما بقي وجعل أفئدة من الناس تهوي إلينا. This must be page 91. So he addressed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and basically mentioned some of the gifts of Allah for Ahlul Bayt by honoring them and giving them the right for intercession, etc. And then Imam Sadiq said, اغفر لي ولإخواني. Please forgive me and my brothers, and of course sisters are included. So Imam is praying for forgiveness for his brothers and sisters. But then in particular he says, وَزُوَّارِ قَبْرَ أَبِي al-Husayn. Please also forgive visitors of the grave of my father, Imam Hussein. As I said last night, when it comes to visiting Imam Hussein, there is a special emphasis, yeah? Although all Imams are, infallible and we should visit all of them, but there is a special emphasis on Ziyarah of Imam Hussein. So Imam Sadiq asked for forgiveness for visitors of the grave of Imam Hussein, الَّذِينَ أَنفَقُوا أَمْوَالَهُمْ وَأَشْخَصُوا أَبْدَانَهُمْ. Those who spent their wealth to travel. They have maybe undertaken difficult trips, maybe they have become tired, etc. But رَغْبَةً فِي بِرِّنَا. But they are eager to show kindness to us. To be, you are kind to your parents. You want to be showing respect and kindness to Imam. So you come all the way, you have other things to do. Okay? Sometimes people have to save money for years to be able to come. But still they come. وَرَجَاءً لِمَا عِنْدَكَ فِي صِلَتِنَا. So they also have hope that you will give them something because they know that you give us gift. So they have come with a hope that you will give them something as they have visited us. وَسُرُورًا أَدْخَلُوهُ عَلَى نَبِيِّكَ. They have come to make Rasulullah happy. When you come to visit Imam Hussein, Rasulullah becomes happy. وَإِجَابَةً مِّنْهُمْ لَأَمْرِنَا. They have also come to respond to our call for visit, for ziyarah. وَغَيْظًا أَدْخَلُوهُ عَلَى عَدُوِّنَا. They also make our enemies upset. By coming here and seeing, so many visitors, they will be very upset. أَرَادُوا بِذَلِكَ رِضَاكَ. They want to please you, they want to achieve your pleasure. And then Imam continued, فَكَافِهِمْ عَنَّا بِالرِّضْوَانِ. So you please reward them on our behalf. So, this shows that Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and Ahlul Bayt feel in debt to someone who comes for ziyarah. Yeah? Although it is, their favor that they invited us, but still they are so kind that say, you have come to visit me, so, oh Allah, please, in return, you give them your pleasure. Okay? Like, for example, many times people who go to visit Maraj, for example, leaders, although they are very happy that they are visiting, but they also thank them. They say, thank you for coming. Yeah? وَكْلَعْهُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ. Protect them day and night. Imam Sadiq is praying for visitors of Imam Hussein. وَاخْلُفْ عَلَىٰ أَهَالِيهِمْ وَأَوْلَادِهِمْ الَّذِينَ خُلِّفُوا بِأَحْسَنِ الْخَلَفِ. They have left their family, children behind. They have come here. So please, you look after their families in their absence. وَاصْحَبْهُمْ وَكْفِهِمْ شَرَّ كُلِّ جَبَّارٍ عَنِيدٍ وَكُلِّ ضَعِيفٍ مِنْ خَلْقِكَ وَالشَّدِيدِ وَشَرِّ شَيَاطِينِ الْإِنسِ. Protect them from any bad person, bad power, weak or powerful, whatever they are, human Satans or jinn Satans, protect them. وَأَعْتِهِمْ أَفْضَلَ مَا أَمَّلُوا مِنْكَ فِي غُرْبَتِهِمْ عَنْ أَوْطَانِهِمْ. Please give them the best that they had hoped to achieve. Okay, it means the maximum that they wanted, please give them. Because of coming to a place that they are far, they are like strangers, غُربة. وَمَا آثَرُونَا بِهِ عَلَىٰ أَبْنَائِهِمْ وَأَحَالِيهِمْ وَقَرَابَاتِهِمْ. Because they have chosen us over their own family members, friends, relatives, houses, business, whatever. They left everything, they came to visit Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So please be, very generous with them. Give them the best they hoped. And then Imam says, Allahumma inna a'da'ana abu alayhim bi khurujihim. Our enemies, blame them that they have come to Ziyarah. فَلَمْ يَنْهَهُمْ ذَلِكَ عَنِ الشُّخُوصِ إِلَيْنَا. But this didn't stop them. Because right from the time of, Imams, there were people who were making mockery of the Shia, ridiculing them. Why you go for Ziyarah? What does it mean? Even sometimes they try to physically stop them, kill them. But they didn't stop. Alhamdulillah, now we have, safety and peace, and honor become. But in the past, it was not like this. And then Imam says, فَرْهَمْ تِلْكَ الْوُجُوهَ الَّتِي غَيَّرَتْهَا الشَّمْسِ. Imam even, thinks of the pain and suffering of traveling, especially in the past when, for example, it was hot, there was no AC, they had to go to deserts, So he asked Allah to have mercy upon those faces that have been changed by the sun, or the cheeks of face that has, been affected because they wanted to, or the eyes that have shed tears for Imam Hussein, or the hearts that have been, lamenting for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And then he says, Allahumma, this is very powerful. Allahumma inni astawdi'uka tilka al-abdan wa tilka al-anfus hatta tuwaffiyahum ala al-hawd yawm al-atash al-akbar. He says, Oh Allah, I entrust those bodies and souls to you. Bodies and souls of the visitors of Imam Hussein. I entrust those bodies and souls to you until the day of great thirst, when you will quench their thirst with the pool of Kawthar. So Imam wants them to remain in this condition as a trust with Allah, so that they don't lose this condition, and they will then reach Imam and Ahlul Bayt next to the Kawthar. So you see how much Imam Sadiq is full of love and mercy and appreciation for Zawar of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. And for sure, he is not alone. Rasulullah, Amirul Mu'mineen, Lady Fatima, Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, they are all the same. They all have appreciation. So, inshallah, we continue this discussion, inshallah, in the next session. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant all lovers of Imam Hussein tawfiq to visit him, inshallah, in near future with safety and ease. We ask Allah to benefit us and all mu'mineen and mu'minat from our ziyarah, inshallah, and to include us among the people who are always with Ahlul Bayt in dunya and akhirah, and would be able also to act as a link, as a bridge for many, many people to get connected, inshallah, to the light of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.